Alright, Shalom Akim, Shalom Yasharallah. First off, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKodash. The honor to our apostles, to our elders of Great Millstone, for teaching us His truth, true and well. And Shalom to the brothers out there pushing in sincerity and in truth. I'm going to continue on, basically where I left off yesterday. It was basically about the patience, that you have to endure in this truth. And, that patience really means endurance. All right? Doesn't mean just sitting down and, seeing what happens happen. It means, trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and continuing to prove yourself as a follower of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, as a preacher, as a prophet, as a man of the word, So I wanted to add on to that, because you have brothers like myself, we might be lacking in certain things, or we are lacking in certain things. All right, but you always have to have that patience, man. You always have to have, that faith, which is what our, doctrine is based upon. It's based upon faith. All right. It's not based upon, all right, you're a so-called Negro. It's not based upon, all right, you're a so-called Mexican, or you're a so-called Latino, you're a so-called Native American. It's based upon the faith that we have. All right. We use the 12 tribe chart. One, it's prophecy, and two, it's something that we use so that people can ask, and faith comes by way of hearing. All right, so we use that, but it's also the faith that the person is carried. All right, the faith that the person is carrying, given to them by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because all these things are gifts given to us by the Most High, man. Whether it be healing, whether it be certain spiritual powers or certain, prophetic revelations, it's all given to us by the Most High, Yahweh. All right, through His Son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right. So what you have to do is pray straight to the source, man. And the source of our belief is the Most High, Yahweh. All right. So here in James 1:5, it says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, Yahweh. All right. So if you want to gain more wisdom, or if you want to increase in the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, if you want to increase in faith, if you want to increase in spirit, if you want to be more spiritual, if you want to be, more dedicated, if you want to, get through a certain thing, that the Most High is the only one that can, we believe that the Most High is the only one that can get you through those things, because He is. All right, you need to ask, man. The Most High, yes, the Most High knows what you need before you even ask Him. All right, but closed mouths won't get fed, man. Closed mouths won't get fed. You see? And that's the truth. All right, you might see somebody that's, they might be hungry, and you look at him and you're like, I think he's hungry, but he's not asking me if he wants any food. All right? Sometimes the Most High may ask you, man. He might ask you through somebody, or He might put the spirit on a brother to make a video, and you're going to feel it, and you're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I do feel that way. I need to, I need to go back to my first love, But sometimes the Most High may not ask you. Sometimes He wants you to ask Him, man. All right? Sometimes you have to take it upon yourself, all right, to discern yourself and to know. Just like we discern people and we know people, all right, you need to know yourself and discern yourself, man. All right, I'm not doing what I should be doing. I need to pray to the Most High. I need to fast. I need to do this. I need to do that, because we're men. All right, we're not little kids anymore that, the Father constantly has to be spanking us in order for us to get our asses up. You become men at a certain point, and the Most High is gonna, require certain things of you, man. And that's also part of the process of experience, like we read in so like in the first 4 verses of James 1. The Most High is gonna acquire you to become men. You know, as you increase in this patiently waiting, all right, as you're patient, as you endure in this truth, you're going to gain experience. All right. It says, let him ask of the Most High Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally, Salakia, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. You see? So you just gotta ask the Most High, man. You know, but you can't ask stupid things. You know, like, man, I wish I could fly. Let me ask the Most High. You know, that's also part of taking his name in vain. You know, and I was taught that early on. You see, that's part of taking his name in vain, man, because that word vain means emptiness. If you're asking the Most High to give you emptiness, all right, you're using his name in emptiness, all right, in vain. So sometimes you gotta know what you're asking of the Most High. You know, it says, but let him ask in faith. You see, and that's what our whole worshiping of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai revolves around. Faith. The faith we have for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You know, it's not just something that anybody can have, and we see that. You know, you see a lot of people like Vocab Malone, you know, Dr. E. You know, you have a lot of people that they just don't have it. They don't have that faith, man. They can't believe in the scriptures 100%. You know, you have a lot of Jakes that don't even believe they're Israelites, and they'll try to use that as proof, all right, to come up against the Hebrew Israelites. You know, which doesn't state anything. All right, it doesn't state anything that you don't believe you're an Israelite. That doesn't mean anything. That just means you're not part of the elect, man. You know. It's not of anything that is of great significance, you know, to contradict what the Hebrew Israelites believe in, you know. And when I mention Hebrew Israelites, I'm talking about Great Millstone, you know, because you have a lot of people that are completely going off, saying all kinds of crazy shit. You see? So it says, let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. All right? If you're asking Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you know, to increase you in spirit and in strength and in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, to give you a double portion of the spirit, all right? And you don't believe what you're saying, and you're like, nah, it's probably not going to happen. You know, I don't really think that it's going to happen. Then it really won't happen, man. All right? Because you cannot be double-minded. All right? You can't think, all right, the Most High is real, but then when it comes down to doing the work, you're like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe that's what you got to do. All right? You can't talk about the destruction that's coming to America. You can't talk about the destruction that's coming to this world. All right? You can't talk about all these things and prophesy about these things, and then you live your daily life like, nah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. You know? Because you do have people like that. You have people that say, yeah, I can see it's coming real clear. You know, those times are coming, but I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. You know? That's what's gonna get you by surprise, man. You might be, you know, on your deathbed, and the Most High will put more life into you, all right, so you can experience what you gotta experience, man. The end of the days, you know, and we're in those days. We're in the last days, all right. Since the time that Yahushua was on the scene till now, we're in those last days, man. You see? So nothing wavering, man. You gotta completely believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know. It says, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. You see? So you're just going to be tossed back and forth, man. You know? You're not going to be firm. You're not going to be rooted in this truth. All right? You're just going to be tossed back and forth. You know, the brother used a perfect analogy, you know, a metaphor of being in this truth to being a tree. You know? If you're a tree that isn't well rooted in this truth, man, you're going to be rooted out. You know? You're going to be taken away, dropped down. You know? But if you're well rooted in this truth, you're going to be like a palm tree, man. A palm tree bends back and forth, and it bends every way that the wind blows it, but it's still standing. You know? It's still standing. You know? It's not taken out. It's still rooted in the truth. You know? It might be hidden with the wind. All right? It might go wherever the wind is going. You know? It'll bounce back and forth, maneuver through the wind. But it's never the wind. All right? It's never part of the wind. You see? It's always being rooted. And it says, verse 7, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High. All right? For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High. All right? So if you're thinking, all right, that you're not going to receive anything from the Most High, then guess what? You're not going to receive it, man. You know? Your faith has to be completely rooted in this truth. All right? It says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You see? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right? You can't just, think that you're part of this truth for no reason, man. All right? You have to be rooted in this truth. You have to believe in this truth. All right? And it comes to the faith that we have. You see? So let me go back up. And let me go into that word faith in verse 6. And it says, conviction of the truth of anything. All right? And what is truth, man? Yahushua said it. What is the truth? What is the truth? All right? The truth is this word. You see? The truth is this word, man. That is the light. That is the armor. That's something that we ought to be putting on. This truth. You see? It says belief. All right? That's what we believe in. In the Old Testament. All right? In the Old Testament, it says in the New Testament, a conviction of belief or a conviction or belief respecting Salakia. I'm over here driving. It says conviction of truth, respecting man's relationship to the Most High. All right, so that's what the truth is, man. All right, the belief you have with the Most High. You see? So you might call yourself an apologist, and you might call yourself, whatever you might call yourself. But if it doesn't collide with what the truth of the Most High is, then it's not the truth. You can't say it's 100% truth. That would make you a liar. And we know that the Most High is not a liar, man. He's not a man that he should lie. All right? So it says, Salakia. It says, relating to the Most High. All right? The faith we have is relating to the Most High. Relating to the Messiah. All right? Mashiach. It says, a strong and welcome conviction or belief that Yahushua is the Messiah, through whom we obtain eternal salvation in the kingdom and in the kingdom of the Most High. All right, but we know that kingdom really represents, the Israelites, because that's what that kingdom is for. Salakia. Give me a second over here. It says fidelity, faithfulness. All right, so jumping down over here, it says down several times, faith is a conviction of the truth of anything. Belief, all right, a conviction or belief respecting man's relationship to the Most High and divine things, generally with the included idea of trust and holy fervor born of faith and conjoined with it. All right, so we believe that we are the Israelites, man. We believe that through the scriptures. All right, and we know the scriptures to be 100% true. You see, nothing wavering. All right, having absolute faith in this truth, man. You know, if you don't believe, wholly in this truth or holily, you have to pray to the Most High. You see. Salakia, bear with me. All right, so jumping down over here, it says Matthew 8:10. It says, when Yahushua heard it, he marveled and said unto them that followed, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. All right, now why was he saying that? Yahushua was talking about, let me just actually go to it. And let me read up from verse 1. It says, when he was come down, all right, Matthew 8:1, when he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And Yahushua put his hands forth and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. Salakia. And immediately his leprosy was cleaned. And Yahushua said unto him, see thou tell no man, but go thy way, show thyself to the priests, and offer gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them. All right, so this man was clean, man. Was he just clean because he asked Yahushua? Yeah, because that was his faith that he had, man. His faith was for Yahushua being the Messiah, being a powerful man of the Lord. All right, and he was going to be cleansed through Yahushua. All right, like scripture says, Salakia, sins, Hebrews 1:3, who being the brightness of his glory and express image of his person, all right, talking about Yahushua, was the express image of Yahweh, all right, because the image of the Most High is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all right. So like the images of the Most High, we ought to present ourselves with that wisdom, with that knowledge, and with that understanding, all right. And that comes also by experience, but also it comes by the faith we have in this truth, man. Because if you don't have faith in this truth, you're not going to grow. All right? You're not going to grow. Just like the people that are in other camps, they have certain breakdowns, but they're watching Great Millstone, the Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Aramlab, Elder Apostle Gabar, they'll be watching the elders, the apostles, and they'll be copying off of them. Then they go and then they try to make their own thing, But with the faith comes that experience, man. Elder Tahar always talks about the faith that he had and how he was increasing in this truth, while other people were either dropping out or just staying with the same thing that they were taught, not really researching the scriptures, but just taking word of mouth, And he even tells you himself, if you don't believe what I'm saying, go into the scriptures, all right? And if you can prove me wrong, then I'm wrong. You see? And it says his express image of his person. And you know what? To prove that, I might actually go to, let me get Hebrews 1:1. And then I'll get, what was it? Wisdom of Solomon, So I've been doing a lot of talking, so I'd rather go into the scriptures to prove that the wisdom is the image of the Most High. All right. Let's see, where should I start? can start off at 20. Let me start off at 22. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 7:22, for wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, all right, one only. And that's why Yahweh Shai was saying that he was one with the Father, one only, because of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the faith he had in Yahweh, all right? Manyfold, you see. So Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are two different things, just like we're different, all right? But we're all part of the same body, which is this faith that we have, man. It says subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to men, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High. All right, so when Adam received the breath of life, all right, it's talking about this wisdom. All right, this power that is given to us, man, this faith that we carry, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty, all right, which that word Almighty means Al-Shadia, all right, which means powerful, you know, a terrible power, you know, a fearful power, man. It says, therefore can no defiled thing fall into her, for she is the brightness of the everlasting light, an unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, and the image of his goodness. You see? So this truth is the image of the goodness of the Most High, man. This is a good thing that we're doing. We might be persecuted. People might hate us. Family might separate themselves from us because we carry this truth. But hey, if that's what the Most High has it planned out, then so be it, man. You know, count all things. I count, like Apostle Paul said, I count all things as dung. All right. I count them all as a loss. Even though they're with me right now, you know, I count them all as a loss. And he said, if you're married, be it as if you're not. All right. Don't be entangled with the world trying to please your woman. You see? You should be entangled with this truth, trying to please the woman of wisdom, which is this truth. You know? So going back to Hebrews 1:3, it says, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, in upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. All right. And that's not metaphorical talk. That's literal talk, man. Yahweh Shai was the express image of the Most High through the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the faith that he carried. You see? So we're trying to be, you know, like Yahweh Shai. All right. Like the Christians say, they're trying to be Christ-like. Then that's what they have to do too. But they're not going to, man. That's just an act that they put on. Trying to be docile, trying to be humble. When it's all fake, man. It's all vanity. You know? Being made so much better than the angels, as he hath inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. You see? So if we want to obtain that excellent name, that crown of glory, then we have to remain in this truth and keep pushing. You know? No matter how hard things may get. So going back to James chapter 1 and verse 8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You see? Let me see if I can pull this up again. What was it? Sins. This is 2nd Ezra 16:76. And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh, let not your sins weigh you down. All right, that's the one that I was really looking for. You see? So the Most High Yahweh is letting you know, man. All right, you're gonna be in this truth, and you're gonna have to fight with nails, with teeth, with with blood, with tears. You're gonna have to claw your way through this truth, man. That's the straight gate, Which, if I can, let me see if I can get that word straight. Often straits. All right, it's often used as straits. It says narrow passage of water connecting two large bodies of water. All right, and who are the two large bodies of water? All right, so the narrow passage being this truth, the two large bodies of water being us and Yahweh Shai and the Most High. All right, but it says straits, a position of difficulty, distress, or need. All right, so a position of difficulty, man. Straight is the gate. All right, it's a position of difficulty, so that means not many people can get through it. People that come into this thing, they'll be weighed down by their sins. They'll go back into the world. All right, and people sometimes they don't even start it because of their sins, or because they know somebody that sinned. We were all sinners in our past, man. Like Isaiah says, and I always bring this up, even with all our righteousness, we're still as filthy rags, man. And those rags that Isaiah is talking about are some filthy, filthy rags, man. A woman on her menstrual period type of rags. That's nasty, unclean, and that's what we are. But we're saved through the faith that we carry, man. We're saved through the grace that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has bestowed upon us. So be simple to sin, man. Like Yahweh Shai said, be simple to sin. But have that knowledge to do good. It says, let me read that again. 2nd Ezra 16 and 76. And the guide of them who keep my commandments. You know what? Let me just go to it. 2nd Ezra 16 and 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. All right, those days of trouble are at hand, but the Most High is going to deliver the elect. All right, be ye not afraid, neither doubt. You see, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and the true trial begins, all right, whenever the times of trouble begin, man. Martial law, the RFID chip, and you're going to have, no food, water, scarce, the food is going to be difficult to get because you don't have a RFID chip, The famine of the word, you're not going to hear brothers on YouTube anymore. You're not going to be able to be calling up brothers anymore, because you have to pay your phone bill. If you don't receive the RFID chip, then how are you going to pay your phone bill? You see, how are you going to pay for your car, for your house, for, your way of life that you had? You can't, You won't be able to pay for anything, man. So those times of trouble are those times of distress that you're going to be going through. You're not going to have any connection, man, except through the Spirit. All right. And a faithful man's going to be walking through the Spirit. You see, that's why verse 75 says, be ye not afraid. All right. Don't be afraid of those things, man. Neither doubt. All right. So don't doubt Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Don't doubt you're going to be saved. You have to firmly believe that, man. You have to firmly go through the hell you have to go through. All right. Because that was the good pleasure of the Most High that we had to go through those things. You see, and we're drinking of the cup of Yahweh Shai. So verily, we do have to go through those things, man. For the Most High is your guide. You see, that's the guide that we should be having. All right. It says, verse 76, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts. All right. Let's look up that word precepts. Precepts. A commandment or direction given as a rule of action or conduct. You see? So we ought to conduct ourselves and have our actions, all right, follow through the rules that were given to us. the directions that were given to us by the commandments of the Most High. You see? Sometimes you just got to read the whole sentence backwards, man. You see? It says, an injunction as to moral conduct, a procedural directive or rule as for the performance of some technical operation, law. All right? So even when that time of trouble comes in, you're still going to have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to the best of our abilities, man. You know? That doesn't mean, through that time of trouble, if we see a squirrel running by, we're going to eat a squirrel. That's unclean. You see? But the Most High is going to have those things ready for the ones that believe in him. All right? It says, saith, precepts, commandments and precepts, verse 76, saith the Lord Yahweh, let not your sins weigh you down. Why? Because our bodies are going to start attacking itself, man. All right? We're going to start thinking, well, maybe you're not worth it, man. Maybe the Most High already left you. Maybe he already took the elect. All right? Maybe you're not worth it. Remember that bad thing you did in 2000 whatever? Remember this, and this? Remember those sins you committed in that time? Those things are going to be coming, man. And a weak man is going to fall for it. You see? But a strong man will attack with the scriptures. Just like Yahushua did. When he was tempted for 40 days and 40 nights, when he was tempted by, when he went to the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, and he was tempted by the devil, he attacked back with the scriptures, man. That's why it's important to know the scriptures. You know? It says, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. All right? Don't let them get above you, man. You see? That's why you continuously have to try to better yourself, you know? So it says, let the brother of low degree rejoice that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flower of the grass he shall pass away. All right, so the rich men are not going to make it into this thing, man. You know, there's a lot of rich men that are not going to make it into this thing, because that's where that's where their faith is at. All right, their faith is in the richness or in the wealth that they have. You know, because that word rich means wealthy. You see, where is it? Rich. Pluseos, which means wealthy, abounding in material resources, metaphor abounding, abundantly supplied, abounding, rich in Christian virtues and eternal possessions. And that's what we should be rich in, the spirit. All right, because spiritual things are going to have spiritual rewards, which is the kingdom of heaven. All right, wealth that is 10 million-fold than what you have now. All right, a kingdom of peace. You see, so the riches that come through the spiritual side of this world, which is by the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right, through these scriptures, you're gonna gain so much more, man. You know, it says, I could get into Lazarus, which is in Luke 16, but I might have to do a separate one for that one. I'm trying to go to camp. But it says, then said Yahushua unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right. Verse 24. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. All right. And why is that? Because that's where their mind is at. All right. That's what they place their hope on. The money that they gained. All right. But granted, you do have some brothers that are going to be wealthy. All right. And they're still going to be in this truth. And they're still going to be saved. Because in the next verse, I believe, verse 25, I believe it says, but anything is possible through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Let me see. Matthew. Salaki, I just completely. Matthew 19. think it was 25 where it says, and then it says, when his disciples heard it, they were extremely amazed, saying, who then can be saved? All right. So they were looking at it carnally. Well, if the rich man can't be saved, then who's going to be saved? They said, but Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, with men, this is impossible. All right. But with the Most High, all things are possible. All right. So there is going to be brothers that are wealthier than other brothers. All right. They might have more things. They might have more, physical things, but they're still men of the Lord, and they're still going to be saved. All right. King Solomon, he was a very, very wealthy man. King David, he was a very, very wealthy man. All right. Then you had other people like King Saul, very wealthy man, but he ended up falling out. You see? So it all depends on what the Most High ordains it to be, And that's why we constantly have to humble ourselves, brothers. That's why we constantly have to humble ourselves too, Because you might look around and be like, man, I'm doing pretty good for myself. And, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has really helped me out. But then sooner or later, you start getting more and more proud, and you start feeling like you're the shit. And what's going to happen? You're going to be humbled by the Most High, man. Or he might just completely leave you alone. All right? He might just completely desert you. The next thing you know, the day of trouble comes, and you're going to take that chip. All right? And then you're going to see your downfall, all right, by way of the ICBM missiles here in America. So, because then you have this one right here in Matthew 27 and 57. When then even was come, there was a rich man of Arimathea named Joseph, who also himself was Yahushai's disciple. So you're going to have people that will follow Yahushai, man. Poor or rich, It says it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of the Most High. Where was it? I was going to go into Luke 16. And then I was going to go back to James 1. I was going to finish that one off. Oh, where am I going? James 1. I believe it was... What was it? Verse 10, James 1 and 10, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flower of the grass shall pass away. All right. Those that have their faith misplaced, they're going to pass away, man. It says, for the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but it weareth the grass, and the flower thereof falleth, and the grace of the fashion of it perisheth. So also shall the rich man fade away in his ways. You see? And that rich man, all right, is the 2/3. That rich man is Esau, Edom, all right, that they're so wrapped up with the ways of this world, all right, being rich in this world, that they're completely ignoring Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right. And Esau, Edom, he's not even in the, he doesn't even qualify to run the race, man. You have to be an Israelite to run the race, But those other Israelites, they're bad ground. Like I mentioned in the previous video. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive a crown of life. You see? And that's what we're striving for, man. Striving for the hopeful elect, putting on as a hopeful elect, all right? Striving for the kingdom. We're striving for glory. We're striving for spirituality. We're striving for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right? So it says, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, and that's the elect, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. All right? And the Most High said, I love them that love me. And how do you love them? By keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments close to your heart, man. Close in your mind. Granted, we're not going to follow everything to the perfection. We're not Yahushai. All right? But we're still trying to follow all of it, man. We're still trying to follow and increase. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High, for the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. All right? So don't let your lusts, don't let your sins weigh you down, man. You know, pushing on in this truth is something very, very difficult. All right. And it is very, very difficult, because if it wasn't difficult, then everybody would be able to be part of the elect. All right. But it's not written like that. You see? Then when lust has conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. All right? So we have to continue in this truth, man. You know, it's difficult at times, and sometimes you're feeling so low, and sometimes you feel like shit, and sometimes your own mind might tell you you ain't worth it. But you have to remember why you were called, man. You were called by the faith that was given to you, man. So you have to continue in this truth no matter how hard the fight gets, man. You have to get your ass back up, all right? Snap out of it. Slap yourself a couple times. Wake yourself up. You know, drink that spiritual coffee. Get energized and get back into it, man. You know, we have to continuously keep fighting, man. Because like a roaring lion, our enemy, the devil walketh around these streets, man. He's walking around these streets seeing when he can devour your ass. And he will devour your ass, man. That's his job, you know? So you have to keep going, man. Do not err, my beloved brethren. So with that, I hope that was edifying. You know, I might do another part to it, and it'll be Luke 16 with Lazarus, all right? But with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth to rule well. Shalom Makim. And you know what? I think I might do that as a lesson to go out, you know, in the highways and the byways, Luke 16. All right. But I hope that was edifying, you know, and just keep pushing, man. You know, it's going to get hard, and it will get harder, you know, but that's the whole point, to root out those that are not going to last, you know. So keep pushing, you know, that's all we can do. Keep pushing and have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, fasting, all right, praying, you know, and just constantly being humble in this truth, you know. You aren't anybody. You didn't make yourself anybody, but the Most High is the one that increased you. The Most High is the one that gave you what he gave you, you see, and you constantly have to have that in your mind. So shalom.